We started this video series with a question: why same incident is perceived by two different people differently? My name is George Matthew. I am an author, performance coach, and a career consultant. I am a certified NLP practitioner, life coach, and a psychology counselor. Apart from my basic education in engineering and long years in corporate world, we talked about how the information from an incident is created internally. The information from an incident is received through 5 senses, and we treat that information differently because before we start processing that information, we allow that information to go through certain filters. These filters are basically the deletion, distortion, and generalization filters. These filters are formed, or programming is formed based on our childhood experiences. In my earlier video, I also talked about our mind. We have 3 layers in our mind: the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious mind. The present day brain coach Jim Quick says that if you know about the brain, we can manage the brain. I also talked about the communication we have with our environment. We have 3 levels of communication. We communicate with the people around us, we communicate with the environment or universe, we communicate to ourselves. How do we know that the temperature around us is changed, or it is increased, or it is cold? Because there is a communication happening between our body and the environment around us, the universe. Suppose we consider our brain as a supercomputer. Our self-talk or the communication within ourselves is the software which is running it. So it is very important to keep that communication healthy. Also, we communicate with the people around us. We communicate with the people in 3 levels or 3 ways. We communicate through our body language, through our words, the tonality. These are the concepts we discussed in my earlier videos. For details, kindly watch those videos again. Coming back to our topic, why same incident is experienced by 2 different people differently? As I mentioned earlier, before we actually process the information from an incident, we delete, distort, and generalize the information. We will process only a limited amount of information from that incident internally, which eventually create an internal state. What is an internal state? There are 2 kinds of state we create. The state is either resourceful or unresourceful. For example, based on an incident, we may be happy or unhappy. Or based on another incident, someone may get motivated, someone else may get demotivated. Once you create this kind of states internally, either resourceful or unresourceful, what will happen? Basically, this internal state trigger action, or it trigger the motor cortex within our brain, which trigger an action from us. There are 2 kinds of action we generally produce. One is verbal action, second one is non-verbal action. Verbal action is through words and tonality, and non-verbal action is through body language. Based on our body language, the words we communicate, and the tonality by which we deliver the words, we create results for us. This result can be either desirable result or undesirable result. So what is the effect of this result? That's how we actually create our life. How do we create our life? See how we create our life through our health, wealth and relationship. Having this health, wealth and relationship, what does it mean? Matter. What does it matter? We use our health, wealth and relationship in our personal life, social life and professional life. So now go back to the first point. When an incident happens, there are two people who experience that incident. What happens to those two people? Those two people treat the information from the same incident differently because their childhood programming. So based on how they treat that information from the incident, they create different personal life, social life and professional life. Whether they are successful or not is based on the way they treat that information they receive from their surrounding through their five senses. So you may be wondering, how do we control this entire process? Most of the time we don't have much control. So what do we do? Luckily we have a tool today which will help us in controlling this process. That is called neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP in short, is a set of tools which help us to control our state irrespective of the event happening outside. So to set an state, NLP can help you in reprogramming your childhood patterns or programming, so that in your life you continuously get desirable results which will eventually make a life which is useful for you and also happy for you. In case you would like to know more about NLP and its tools, how you can use those tools in your day-to-day life, please subscribe my channel. Also enable the bell icon.